All right, guys, first time for me ever in Priest River, and I'm standing on Highway 2, and that sign in the back of me, hopefully you can see that, is definitely true. We had lunch, and see the smile? It was pretty awesome, just a little down-home restaurant in the middle of absolute nowhere, and you can kind of see in the back of me, you can kind of see the sign back there that points to where we're going. So we're going to Priest Lake. It's 22 miles from here. Hey guys, so I'm here finally on Priest Lake and been walking around for a while, just trying to find a location. It's about 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I've never been to this lake before, so it's a complete adventure, completely unknown to me. So no idea. I've been walking along the shoreline here trying to figure out a composition, I know that I'm kind of on the wrong side of the lake for the sunset, but the sun is casting some nice light on the hills on the opposite side of the lake. So what I think I'm going to do is just capture an image. Well, Krista decided to sit on some chairs, and she doesn't really know that I'm sneaking up on her. I'm going to try to capture an image of her as she's sitting on somebody's chairs looking at the sunset on Priest Lake. I do think that I might have found a couple of spots that I'm going to come back to early in the morning for a sunrise picture that should be phenomenal, assuming that the light develops like I think it should. So I'm going to come back in the morning to try my luck at that, and then we're going to do some hiking in the afternoon and so forth. So right now I'm going to go ahead and try my luck to sneak up on Krista as she sits in somebody's chair on the beach looking at the sunset on Priest Lake. Morning, guys. So I'm out here for 4:40 in the morning, and like I told you yesterday, I was going to come out and try to get a couple of compositions here on the lake. So I've just been listening to the birds and just kind of watching, if you can see out there, just kind of watching the light gather towards our new day, and the lake is looking very pristine. So my idea is to go find a spot where the water's really calm, and then I can find a nice leading line and maybe wait for that light to come, just peek over the hills. So and maybe get a little sun-star image. Not exactly sure yet. I gotta get out there and find out. So let me get moving. So sometimes we get lucky on the trail. We can see, and I don't know if the deer's still sitting there. Yeah, not really paying attention to my presence, is he? is pretty sweet. You never know what you're gonna see in the morning when you come out on the lake. I'm just glad that's not a bear. I won't have to use my $50 can of bear spray. Okay guys, I've arrived at my location and I'm kind of explain what my idea is. You can see these two rocks and the light is just starting to get close to that peak. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my tripod down into the water, and what you can't see is in the water there's a line of rocks that are under the water. I don't know if I'm gonna be able, in the image you'll actually be able to see those. I'm gonna use a polarizer, at least for the first shot, and then I might have to quickly take the polarizer off if it starts to flare on me. But I'm going to use those rocks as my leading line out, and hopefully the sun will cast a nice little light onto those rocks, and it'll start casting some light onto that island out there as well, and we can get some nice contrast of light and shadows, because it's really all we can work with this morning since there's really no clouds. The light in the sky isn't spectacular, so just to try to capture what I'm seeing this morning and create an image out of it, that's my attempt. So I better hurry up before the light fades on me.
Stay awake every night just to catch one more glimpse of your skin. When I look...
Ow! Ow! God! Damn! So, yeah, I wasn't quite prepared for that. Once I got everything kind of set up on the edge, I realized I had to take my shoes off and get into the water because I couldn't do it from the shore, I couldn't do it from the edge, I had to get in. So luckily the water was nice and warm and actually quite beautiful. So I changed up my shoot quite a bit from how I thought I was going to shoot it at the beginning. I ended up taking the wide angle off. It wasn't working. It wouldn't work for a pano, wouldn't work for a single image. It just didn't look good. Nothing that I shot out of it was looking great. So I threw the 35mm lens on, and my idea was to shoot a panorama, but not a large panorama, just about, I think it ended up being about 5 images. And I do that quite a bit. And the reason I do that is to try to bring the foreground elements closer into the image and still maintain the width and the beauty that I'm seeing out here that it doesn't always get achieved with a wide angle lens. Because a wide angle tends to distort the image in a way that doesn't really look natural sometimes. And so when I threw that little 35mm lens on there, it tends to bring in what I'm seeing with my own eyes. And what happened is I had to wait until the sun just crested the peak there, and I was waiting for it to create that nice sun star that you saw, and I set my image so that that light, the sun, was, when it rose, it was rising and casting light right between those rocks to create that interest. So I really think that the image worked. I wasn't really sure at first and was kind of scrambling when I realized that wide angle wasn't going to work, and I'm in the middle of water, my bag's over on the other side. It was a mad scramble, but I'm really happy that it worked out and excited for the next shoot. So this afternoon we'll be hiking to Chimney Rock, I believe, unless plans change, but that's the plan at the moment. So I'm gonna pack up and maybe take 1 or 2 more shots on the way out, and I'll check back in with you on the mountain this afternoon.